Welcome around the Workstand. Here's my frequent collaborator, David Martinez. David, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You have done it again. You have written yet another blog post full of really interesting information that I think if I was a bike shop, I would be interested in having a high converting website. That's kind of the goal, is to
Mhm.
have a Workstand website, have all the benefits of the catalog and the industry integrations, and use that to get more people into your store and buying things on your website. And I think this is great information. So you've written the blog post. It's quite detailed. We're going to run through things now to give people an idea what's in that blog post. But this is from years of your own experience in working with stores to figure out what works and what doesn't work, right?
Yeah, and it's just all about we doing a lot of testing. Over the years, we did a lot of A/B testing. We did a lot of just seeing what worked, what didn't work, trying different things. Being flexible. Looking at other websites to see and asking if how well it's doing over there, and just really just yeah, like you said, just trying it out and testing and doing what works. If it
Yeah.
doesn't work,
One of the
try something
benefits
different.
of one of the benefits of us working with 13, 1,400 stores across North America is we do get to see some good information. And a lot of that's extensible. It can work for any store if you're willing to put a little bit of work in and make the effort. So in that vein, let's talk about why this matters. But also, you've got 8 really good tips for folks to look at. And I love the way you phrase this. Think about the busiest day you've had. Imagine the busiest day in the store, and then imagine that 10 or 20 or 100 times bigger. That's what we're talking about in terms of how much attention you can get on a website versus how many people might happen to walk in the store in a day, right?
Yeah, and these are real numbers too, right? These are people essentially walking into your store, right? They're walking onto your website. They're real customers, real people. And how do you get them to buy something is what we're after here. And it's not not make believe. This is not bots. These are real traffic drivers, real traffic coming into your store. And if we can convert again 1% of that number, it could totally drastically change your revenue stream. So it's real money out there left on the table waiting for us to pounce on.
Yeah, and that's why we like the number revenue per session versus how many sales did I have, because it's those eyeballs on the message. How many of those people can we get to convert into some form of paying customer? So
Yeah,
that's why we like that metric, because it's more honest.
yeah, sure.
And considering a lot of the stores that we work with have 20 plus thousand visitors per day, certainly some more, some less, but 20,000 is a lot. And like you said, 1% can make a big difference. Let's talk about those 8 tips that it takes to really start that process of going from website visitor to shopper. And what's the first one?
The first is master your homepage hero, and really on that one, just it's all about keeping it fresh, making sure your homepage hero, your the first thing someone sees on your website is fresh, is inviting, is interesting, intriguing, exciting, anything to grab their attention. It's your one opportunity. It's your first impression your customer gets on your store, on your business. Does it look
Mhm.
professional? What are we working with here, right? Is it easy to look at? Is it blinding to the eye? Is it, oh, it's really difficult to look at. We see some sites out there, on and off the platform, honestly, that are just, sometimes are a little bit harder to look at. So,
Yeah.
just, make it interesting. So,
And by hero, we're talking about that above the fold area, that big image at the top of most websites. That's the hero image we're talking about. And that above the fold, if you're younger than David and I, back in the print days, that was like a newspaper or a magazine folded.
yeah.
So on the website, it's the part that loads that you're going to see before you scroll. And that's just super important real estate. What you care about the most
Mhm.
should often be up there, and it should not be the same thing for weeks on end. It should be swapped out fairly frequently.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Cool. All right. So number 1, master your hero homepage image. Number 2, what's the next important thing we want to talk about?
Yeah, this would be just broadcasting your brands. Who are your true partners in your business? What brands do you do? And really, looking at a website within one or two scrolls, you should be able to know who the brands are that this shop is associated with. Is it the big three, the big four? What else do they have in their store? So who are they? What products should I assume to see on your website to bring me in? Right. So.
And having that prominent allows the user to know if they're in the right spot, if it's the right store for them. And then also, I think when we talk about brands, you like the idea of brand landing pages as well, specific landing pages for each brand, right?
Yeah, I mean, it allows you to have really content, really, data rich, or not data, so more just rich content on that brand, like the features and benefits, the why behind it, what's special about Trek or Specialized or Cannondale or even Giant. Give a little more detailed information that you would see that you wouldn't necessarily see on a product page. So
Yeah, and it may be even more important for the non Big Four brands.
sure, right.
If you're a niche bike dealer, or you're into different Marin or other types of bikes, it may be even more important to have those brand pages that way. Especially in the age of AI search, those pages can become fuel to help you win that AI search game that's becoming more and more important.
Yeah, like you said, any kind of niche brands you might have, it could be a folding bike. It could be a titanium, like a Moots, for instance, a Moots, a custom page or a custom bike that really needs that attention for your site.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. So broadcast that brand authority. Number 3, you're talking about showcasing services. So it's not all about products. There's also a need to be specific and open about the services you offer.
Yeah, and we talk about conversions. Mainly we talk about revenue conversions on sales on your website, but also we want to look at conversions of customers going into your store after they view your site. So what services do you offer? Do you offer trade-ins? Is there financing available? Do you have a kids trade-up program? Do you guys work on suspension forks and shocks? All those services matter. Having good content on those services and good, easy, actionable items on those services will definitely help. So.
Yeah, outstanding. It's a big competition point in town too. If you've got especially shock service or bike fitting, if you offer those services and others don't, you need to get out there and make sure people know that.
Yeah, right.
The next one, number 4, highlight key categories. So not all about specific brands, but also about the categories that matter, right?
Yeah, right now with the time change happening, what's big right now? Helmets and lights, right? Lights is a big category, right? So have a focused, block of light category on there, so it's really easy to find your lights and see what you have to offer.
Yeah,
so.
Seems obvious, but I mean, there's more than one way to. I don't want to say the cat thing, but more than one way to approach a problem. Sometimes it's about brands, sometimes it's about specific products, but sometimes it's just about the categories. I think every time category comes up, I think 2 things: e-bikes, because that's a big growing category, and gravel bikes, because I tend to spend a lot of time on gravel bikes. So those are good examples of why you want to have category-specific sections on the website as well.
And then even now, again, one thing to add to the lights would be indoor trainers, right? If you're an indoor trainer, market, then have a spot for indoor trainers. Easy, one click goes to all your trainers and accessories, and make it easy.
Easy. I love making it easy. This one's not specifically about us, but it's third-party integration. So why is it important to engage with those integrations to extend beyond just the website?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of integrations we have, but I think some of the integrations with social media are great to kind of show your culture, show what you're about, show that your involvement in the community. It makes it really easy, kind of fun, and it kind of changes the dynamic of your website a little bit. So there's tons of, or not, I shouldn't say tons to be clear, but there is options that are really inexpensive and almost free to implement on your site.
And that way, if you're active on these platforms, then people get to see things like New Bike Day or when you have group rides and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Outstanding. And then I'm not the biggest fan of pop-ups in general, but they have a place, right? So think about growing the list of people you have to reach out to via pop-ups. What's your recommendation there?
Yeah, pop-ups are, they're great. If you do email marketing, they're a great, easy way to get email capture, right? They're a great, and you offer a little discount usually, but it is very inexpensive to set up and to use, but make it easy for your customers to X out if needed, right? So view it yourself, make sure, always walk through your site with your customer eyes. And is it difficult to turn this off or to get out of this one pop-up page? We all see them on all the sites we go to. You go to any site, you see a pop-up page for the most part. And sometimes they're a lot harder to get, on or off, and it's frustrating, but make it easy to get off and make your your offer, pretty easy to get too. So it should just be a simple, here's your email and, here's a discount code. And they do work, right? I mean, as much as we, as shop owners and managers don't like them, they really do work. So
yeah, we need those email addresses for communication. It's a key way we're going to grow a client list, which is a key way we're going to grow sales. But I'm with you. It is ubiquitous from the standpoint that you see them everywhere, so it's good to have. But for goodness sake, make it easy to get out of that thing if they don't want to do that. We don't want to drive them away with those things.
Right. Yeah.
Wonderful. We have talked about shipping a lot recently, but number 7 on your list is make shipping policies crystal clear.
Yeah. Let's not, we don't need to be, too detailed, but also just make it simple, right? Have a simple message. This is where return policy is. This is what you get for free shipping. This is what you don't. And just make it simple, make it easy to find. Usually I like to see if we offer a free shipping threshold, put it in your banner, make it live. It'll be on every single page the customer goes to, and just make it easy to understand what they should see or expect when they get to their cart. So
and put it in the right spots. I think, tell me if you agree, but a lot of abandoned cart issues happen because in that process, it's not easy to figure out what the return policy is or other shipping information. And that'll cause people to hesitate and sometimes bounce out and not complete the purchase.
100%. Yeah.
Yep. All right. And then the final one on our list of 8, be strategic about pricing. I mean, it's not all about price, but it's a lot about price, at least being competitive, right?
Yeah. Again, just stay competitive. I mean, we talk about this a lot, just be competitive, right? If you have aged inventory, understand that, hey, this isn't going to go anywhere at full retail. It's not even going to get looked at, right? So be competitive, price it to sell, and, and let's hope to move this item and move forward with other avenues. But, yeah. So just look at your old inventory. It's really easy to see items that are in stock. Your website's a great, easy way to look at those things and see what's in stock and what you're showing. And just, look at what you're showing and look at by model year, and just make sure that everything is on sale that needs to be on sale. So you don't have to be the lowest priced, but you should be competitive. So that's my one statement. I want to make sure it's clear.
Yeah. And it's not your old inventory is not going to suddenly become vintage and be worth a lot more. So,
yeah. Right.
And you kind of gloss over, you said needs to be on sale. It does need to be on sale. Those are little piles of money. Mm-hmm. And if they're not moving at the bigger price, they need to be lowered and priced aggressively to get rid of it so you can turn that bike into another little pile of money and go off and get some more stuff that will sell.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is good. What else do we want folks to know? I mean, the 8 steps are great. Go read the blog. I'll link it in the notes below. What else is super important this time of year to know about?
I mean, just for before we go into that, just we are your partner, right? We do want to make sure we are your partner. We are here for you to help you grow. If you have any questions, feel free. Please reach out with questions or comments. We'll get back to you guys and let you guys know. Give you some other tips if you want them. But yeah, in this time of year, we're going into the holiday season. Already that time of year. But have a plan ready for your marketing efforts, and going into Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all those things. The Christmas holiday. Have a plan. Get ready to come fast, and it's better to have a plan than no plan at all. So.
And if you need help with that, we've got a lot of good information on holiday marketing. If I had a call yesterday afternoon, but they just don't have time to do it. Well, we have plans, we have content, we're ready to help implement that. But like David said, reach out if you need help with this, be it holiday marketing or these 8 steps we just completed. Again, I'll put the link to the blog post in the show notes below. You can reach out to David at david.m@workstand.com, or generally just send us an email at podcast@workstand.com. We love to get questions and talk about those. And David is a very generous person with his time. He has some awesome programs that can help stores both online and in store. And then, of course, always reach out to the client success team if you've had general ideas or general questions about how to use your website. We're always happy to help. And if you have questions, we're here to help. And if not, we'll see you around the Workstand.